Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Hunter motorists are being encouraged to report fuel shortages and price hikes to a new online portal. The coalition has set up the No Fuel Here website to provide up-to-date real-time data to the government. National Senator Bridget McKenzie hopes it will help the Energy Minister direct limited fuel supplies to where they're needed most.
Allows everyday Australians to report where the bowsers are running dry and where the bowsers' price is too high. We have launched this in an effort to help us, Chris Bowen, help you, because we know that you aren't getting the information you need to give Australians the confidence they need that will get through this crisis.
Newcastle Post Office owner Jerry Schwartz has promised to keep council in the loop with his proposed restoration project. Dr Schwartz briefed councillors last night, providing a timeline on the projected works, saying he intends to have everything finished within 3 years. He also envisages the basement and ground floor of the historic building should be ready within 18 months. It's hoped a construction certificate can now be issued for work to start by the April 8 development consent deadline. Cautions remain in place surrounding the Hunter River at Mount Thorley following a recent large-scale fish kill event. The state's Environment Protection Authority identified the event last Friday and have been processing water samples ever since to diagnose a cause. The authority's Director of Operations, David Gathercole, says locals should be wary until their investigation is complete.
As a precaution, we've recommended that anyone swimming in the river follow standard New South Wales health advice not to drink any untreated water. And for the downstream users, if you don't need to extract water from the river, wait until we have confirmed that the water quality is normal. And we're hoping to have those results by the end of the week.
3 large industrial land holdings at Wickham are set to be turned into hundreds of apartments. The state government has listed the land as state significant to fast-track the construction process. It would see a couple of old factories and a warehouse make way for the major housing development. The initial findings of a polio history research project will be presented at the University of Newcastle today. The project looks at the effect polio had on Australian communities throughout the mid-20th century. The research will be compiled digitally and released to the public for ease of access. Head researcher Catherine Colborne says educating people about the history of diseases and vaccination is extremely important.
I think historians of health and medicine have a real responsibility to educate people about what disease was like in decades before we had really good vaccination, immunisation programs around the world and in Australia, because diseases really did run through communities and could be very devastating for families and also economies.
Newcastle Airport is setting big goals for their international travel hopes following yesterday's first direct Singapore flight. Locations including the United States and South Korea have been identified as potential future options for international travel at the airport. Airport CEO Link Horton says it would be a massive boost to the local tourism industry if these goals were to be achieved.
The idea that we could have direct flights coming in from Singapore, from America, from South Korea, these sort of huge locations where we know there is significant demand for tourists to come into the Hunter to enjoy everything the Hunter has to offer.
To NURFM Sport.
Knights coach Justin Holbrook has moved his players around for their round 4 clash against the Bulldogs. Cody Hopwood will make his first appearance since his debut last year, following Trey Mooney's suspension. Teammate Bradman Best says he'll make the most of his opportunity.
Hoppy comes into the side there, and young, hungry lad that loves his footy and wants to build something special here. So he's very passionate. So yeah, there's no real message from the coach. It's just do your job, and that's what we're focusing on.
Meanwhile, the Knights will face off against their former coach Adam O'Brien this weekend. After leaving Newcastle, O'Brien became the attacking coach for Canterbury. O'Brien and the Bulldogs remain unbeaten after 2 games. And the Newcastle Falcons have made another re-signing for the 2026 season. Matur Maluwach returns to the Falcons' NBL 1 squad after a strong 2025 campaign. That's sport. I'm Darcy Mills.
And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 6, 8, 22, 24, 25, 27 and 34, and the supplementaries are 1, 14 and 40. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.